Hello, Mr. Madison Plays here, and welcome to the first Minecraft episode. Today, we're going to be going on a fun field trip of the anatomy. The Anatomy Adventures is the location we're going to be at. We're going to be discovering the human body. So let's go ahead and go inside and take a look. Such a big location. We're going to go through the sliding doors. Looks like we gotta wear some scrubs. We don't want to get anything infected in there. It's gonna be squeaky clean. Let's go ahead with our hats. Look away. Put that on. Let's go with the chest piece. Put that on. And leggings? There you are. Leggings. Do we want to wear shoes? No. I'm a ghost. I like ghosts. Ghosts don't have feet. They don't have arms either, but they do have bodies. So that's why we're using scrubs. I look really good in these things, don't I? Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look around. I like the interior. Looks really cool. But we're not here for the interior. We're here about the human anatomy. So, we have a blue way. We have a red way. Let's start with red first, since we're over here. So, from what we're seeing, is that this is the diagram of what's inside the human anatomy. Let's go over a few things. We're going to be talking about the brain, the esophagus, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, the stomach, the large intestine, the small intestine, the bladder, and the veins. Alright then. Let's go ahead and keep going this way. We're going to come over here. We're not going to be just talking about all the organs. We're going to talk about the bones as well. Naming a few as the cranium, the sternum, the humerus, the ribs, the radius, the phalanges, the femur, the fibula, the tibias, and much, much more. Hi. Can I help you? I'm trying to teach a class right now. Stop it. Okay. So, going on further, we're going to be talking about a few more organs. A little close up on all these ones. We have up here, which is the stomach. We have over here, which is the lungs. We have the brain. And then we have the liver. Don't worry if some of these things are not catching on. We'll go into great depths on what some of these do in a couple of minutes. We're going to come this way. We're not going to skip any of these. These are where all the fun's going to begin. So we're going to skip them just for now, but we're not skipping them entirely. So we're going to come over here. We're going to look at the blue side right now. So, from what you're seeing right here, is we have the ears for us to hear. Everyone to keep behind me, we hear it because of our ears. Next is the mouth for talking, chewing, and drinking, and eating. Chewing and eating is basically the same thing. Next, the eyes. The eyes are for seeing, if some people can. The next would be the nose for smelling, if people can. Okay, next location we're going to go to is over here. A little more close-up of what happens below. So we have the small intestine. The best way that I like to describe a small intestine is like being at a amusement park and you're waiting on a roller coaster. You start in the beginning of the line and you go down, over, down, over, down, over, down, over. But then, after a while, you have to start going upstairs. So after a little bit of time, the small intestines gets put into the large intestines, which is about this little nod you see right here. Then you go up, you go over, you go down, you go over again, and then this is the exit, if you know what I mean. And then over here, we have the urinary bladder. That is for the urine. These ones are meant for waste. And this is meant for the liquid, the urine. Okay. Let's come on over here. This is not the outside of the body. So over there, we talked about over there about what was inside the brain and whatnot. Over here, we're talking about the outside, such as our hair, our eyes, our ears, the nose, the mouth, teeth, tooth, the tongue, the lips are all part of the head. Then we're going to go down to the upper part of our body, the upper torso, which has our shoulders, chest, arms, hands, and fingers. And then you have the leg part, which is the lower part of our body, which is made up of the knees, the feet, the toes, and right here is the thigh. Alrighty then. I know I may be seeming a little bit, saying all this a little bit too fast, but no worries. We will take a big gander of everything in a couple seconds. Down here in the middle of the location that we have here, beautiful place, we're not talking about that, we have a little human. Let's talk about him a little bit. Let's go through all these flags and talk about things. So, we have the feet. Can you show me where the foot's at? Right here. And this is the feet. Feet or foot. Above your feet is the ankle. There's a bone there. And above the ankle is the leg itself. But with inside the leg, we have our knees, which is the little bumps you see on this person. Then we're going to come down here, which is the lower limbs. This, all together, is the lower limbs. We're going to come over here, which is about right here. About right here is the hips. But just above it is the waist. Then we're going to come into here. We have the whole chest area right here. We have the shoulders right here. And on both arms, so on both sides, we have the elbow. And we have the fingers, which is purple for some odd reason. You might want to get that checked out, buddy. Okay, right here, where it looks like it went down some, that is called the neck. And then we have the ears, which is these two white pieces. Same on this side, two white pieces. We have the hair, which is, he's a black head, hair. And then the head itself. And that is how the outside anatomy looks on a human. So, like we're talking about, we're going to go through all four of these things. We have the anatomy ride, the digestive system, the body organs, and the skeletal system. We're first going to go ahead and start with the anatomy ride. I already know this is going to be real fun. You guys ready to go? I sure am. Let's go. We're going to press this button and we're heading off. Okay, so as you can see, those are all a bunch of trees. And that's where we were just at. And we transported it up to here, which is very, very far up in the sky. But it's going to talk about the system that we're going to learn about today, and the anatomy ride. So up here, where it's going to be a little bit more easier to see, we have the brain, which is up in the top of the head. We have the two lungs. We have the heart right above the liver, or above the lungs. We have the liver, two kidneys. The kidneys are connected to the urinary bladder. Yeah, I know. Confusing. It's not really. Let's go. Let's take a closer look. Okay. So usually they will like you to use a minecart, put it on here, and start a little ride. So some are blue and some are red. I was thinking that this might be blood vessels, blood veins, but they're not. It looks like it, but they're not. But don't worry. So we're going to take a ride. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go. So first, we're in the brain. We're in the brain right now. What's up, buddy? Okay? And we're going to come this way. Excuse me. So right now, oh, I mean this one. Right over here. Right next to the brain, close to it, is our left ear. Over on that side, it says our right ear. Over here, we have the neck. We're going to go down until we get to about this area. This area right here, we're in the heart. Then we come over here, which is this more pinker spot. And now, we're in the lungs. And then we're going to keep on going. We're in the shoulders. We're going to keep going this way. We're in the arm. And we're going to keep going down. And we're going down the arm till we hit about right here. This is the wrist, the left wrist. And then our fingers. Then we're going to come back up. Because the body is divided equally on both sides. I'm not going to do the right side because the right side will tell you the exact same thing that we're looking at, which is on the left side. So, let's go ahead and keep on going. You are in the minecart. Lovely. Okay, so right now, this is the chest. And then we're going to keep going. And this red part that we're in right now is the liver. Excuse me, lady. Now, we're coming down here. We're in the stomach now. This is the stomach. And we're going to come down. And now we're in the kidneys. There was 2 kidneys. You can have 1 kidney. It's perfectly fine to have 1 kidney, but it'll be a lot more harder to have 1 kidney. And we'll talk about what kidneys are in just a couple minutes. We're then going to come down here to the urinary bladder. The kidneys is connected to the urinary bladder. And then we're going to come this way. We have the waist. It's about right here. And then the thighs, about right here. It is going to be the hips are about right here. Then the waist. Oh, nope. The thighs, the left thigh. Where we come straight down. Now we're at the knees of the human. And we're going down even further. Coming down here, we have the toes and the heel. The heel will always be the tough part of the foot, and then the toes. Like I said, the right side of the body would be saying the same information, just everything would be the right side. Legs and arms. So we're not going to go over on that part, because it'll basically be the same thing. If we did, it'll basically go down this way, come back up, and I come this way, and basically skipping all of the organs that we see. And then it goes into the arm. But then we're going to just jump onto the track right here and come back up. And we're back at the brain again, to the right ear, and we leave. Okay? Let's go ahead and go back to the observing room first. Okay, so one more time. We started at the head, which had the brain. Going down to the next organ was our heart. And then next after that was our lungs. Okay? Then we made our way down to our hands, and that being our fingers, our wrist, and whatnot, and came back up, and then we start talking about the liver, the kidneys, and the urinary bladder. And of course we went to the legs, where it had our waist, our hip, our thighs, our knees, feet and heels, and it came back up. That is all the inside the anatomy. So let's go ahead and head back to the lobby. Back here again. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the digestive system now. This one's a fun one. I know you guys would really enjoy this one. So I like this one. We're basically going to be getting eaten. So we're first going to start at little Timmy's mouth. Hello, little Timmy. You're going to eat us today. I hope you don't mind that. Do you mind that? You gonna eat us? You okay with that? Yeah, you're okay with that. Okay, let's go. So, we're first gonna start with the tongue. What does the tongue do? That's easy. The tongue is needed for chewing and swallowing food. The tongue is essential for speech. A lot of talking is helped with the tongue. If the tongue wasn't there, most words would be, you really couldn't even hear it. So it's good that we have the tongue. Next is we're going to talk about the teeth. The teeth are hard structures which chew, crush, and grind food. And then the side, we have 2 parts inside of our throat, which is aluvia. Aluvia helps to prevent food from entering the nasal cavity. Nasal is their nose. Because if you did not know, the nose is somewhat connected to your mouth. And some water can happen to seep into your nose, vice versa. But we're not talking about any of the nose. We're doing the digestive system. And your nose does not digest food. No. Okay, so let's keep going. We have the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscle tube that acts as a passageway for food, air, and water. Dalloo! Now, as like I said, we're food. We just went down the throat, and now we're in here. We have some arrow signs telling us to keep going this way, and bada boom, bada beam, we're at the stomach. Now, the stomach breaks down food in order to extract essential nutrients. So, when we're in the stomach, we are in water. We are in a liquid, but it's not like water as you're seeing. It's actually a acid that is sitting there, moving the food around and decomposing the food, breaking it down, if I may. And as it's going through and it's being broken down into a smaller waste, it ends up into our smaller intestines. Some people think when they hear smaller intestine, bigger intestine, they'll think that the bigger intestine goes first. But really, it's the small intestine. So, small intestine absorbs water and nutrients that arrives from the stomach. So, after it's been broken down by all the acids and whatnot, it comes down into the smaller intestines, where if there's any water or good nutrients, it gets absorbed into here. Okay, so like we were talking about with the intestines earlier, the smaller intestines is like waiting in a amusement park ride, waiting to get on a roller coaster. We have to wait in this big line. So the food is just waiting in this big line, just coming on through, going back and forth and back and forth until it finally meets with this different color. And this different color you see here is going to be the large intestine. Now, what does the large intestine do? Let's learn. The large intestine continues, doesn't start, doesn't pick up, just continues to absorb water and nutrients from the food that arrives from the small intestine. So at this point in time, when it gets about right here, going through the whole amusement ride line, it's been broken down even more since it's been in the stomach. At this point in time, it starts turning into more of a mush of a waste. And so with the bigger intestines is basically just one box. It goes up, goes left or right, depending on how your body is and how your digestive system is. But then it goes down. It's usually on top of your bigger intestine is usually on top of your smaller intestine as well. So this is the final stop on the digestive journey for solids. Solid waste is stored here until the time to expel the waste. So at this point in time, this is where the solids is, the waste, if you know what I mean. So it usually is stored right here until it gets to the point where you have to go to the bathroom. So at one point in time, it's going to be going through all this, and it comes about right here. So this will complete your tour of the digestive system. Your digestive system helps keep your body healthy. To help your digestive system by eating a lot of fruit and vegetables and drinking plenty of water. When I come through, and this is the end. Okay, let's go ahead and head back to the lobby. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Should we do skeletal system first, or should we do the body organs? What do you think? Oh, hello. Twins? How you doing? Which one should I do? Skeletor or the body organs? Which one did you pick? No? Okay. Let's go ahead with the body organs. Okay. So, we have a full room here. I like this room. This room's pretty cool. This room will tell you a lot. And this is all the body organs. So, organs as well as we talked about the stomach, we talked about the large intestines, the small intestines, but we didn't talk about the bladder. So we're not going to include these ones. They come with some good information, but we already went through the whole last one, going through little Timmy, and little Timmy ate us and everything like that. So we're not going to talk about those ones. We're first going to start over here with the brain. Okay, so every single time we come in here, we're going to press this button to start a movie and look up. So, right here now, the brain has the neural system, and it sends down signals, neural systems, throughout the skeleton, or our spinal cord. So, what does the brain do? The brain receives and processes information from the rest of the body. Electrical signals travel throughout the nervous system and are received by specialized neuron cells. So let's go ahead and press this one more time. As you see, these little down arrows are going to be those signals that is going through the neural system. Over here is going to be a 3D model of what they look like. This is a rough idea of what the brain looks like in a 3D model. Over here, it just has this if we want to try to be creative. Hey, how you doing? That was my ear. Okay, so we can create our own image of a brain, but we're not going to worry about that. Okay, everything did disappear. Okay, sorry. We're going to come in here. Next, you will think that we'll want to go straight to these ones, but let's go ahead and come over here. This is the spine. The spine is connected somewhat to the brain. Let's learn about the spine. Okay, remember, we're going to press this button, we're going to look up. So as it was going down, these are the neural signals. It's going through the whole neural system right now. And it's going all the way down to the hips. Okay, I'm just going to show you that. Neural system, those are the vertebrae that we have as well. The discs that are between our spinal cords. Let's learn about the spine. I'm going to need you to move so I can... Thank you. Okay, so the spine is made up. The spine is made up of 33 bones. It supports the upper body's weight and protects the spinal cord. The spine is also known as the vertebrae columns or the spinal columns. Thank you for not in my ear anymore. Okay. That's the spine. Okay. Yes? Can I help you, doctor? Okay. Okay. Now, we're going back up here. Let's talk about the lungs. What are great about the lungs? Well, let's find out. Okay. I'm going to press the button. We're going to look up. So from you see right here, we have some... That's the mouth up here. Okay, this thing's going a little bit too fast. Okay. Up here is going to be where the mouth is. And air is going to be sucked in. And it's going to come down here into our lungs. Let's watch it again. You have the O2, which is oxygen. It's coming into the lungs. Lungs get bigger, then shrinks, and then O2, carbon dioxide, is expelled out the mouth. So, let's go ahead and watch this again, and watch it breathe in and breathe out as the oxygen is coming in, and the oxygen is going out. So, with me. You felt that your stomach was going up when you breathed in. And it went down when you were breathing out. When you breathe in, our lungs, watch one more time, our lungs inflate, gets bigger, and then deflates when it's carbon dioxide leaving. Okay, picture of the lungs, 3D model. So let's learn a little bit more about the lungs. The lungs are two sacs located in the chest responsible for respiration or breathing. Oxygen from the air enters the blood through the lungs while carbon dioxide is expelled. Okay? The lungs. Okay? Next, let's go ahead and talk about the heart. The lovely, lovely heart. We need it, don't we? Okay. Can you guess what the heart does, guys? Let's learn. So, we have the heart's constantly beating, and we have the blue blood comes in, and then coming out this way, and going out this way is the red blood. 3D object of the heart. Let's learn about the heart. The heart pumps the blood around the body. Blood transports oxygen and nutrients to all parts of the body. Awesome, awesome. Go ahead and head back to the lobby. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the liver. Liver is very important part of our body. Excuse me, gals, coming through. I'm just going to push you out of the way. Thank you. Let's watch the movie. So as you see, the waste is going to come in, and it's going to go out this way. The waste that we're talking about is going to be the liquids. Usually the intestines are for the solids. The liquids is what our liver deals with. Now, what does the liver do? That is a fantastic question. So, the liver's role is to remove toxins from the bloodstream. So, one of the biggest toxins that we know about are going to be pretty much anything that's not water. Apple juice, soda, milk, things like that have toxins in it, and the liver helps divert it back into water and takes all the bad stuff out. Now, the question is, where does all that bad stuff go? Well, it takes it to the kidney. Let's learn about the kidney. So, as you remember, back at the liver, it went like this and went down. Well, it comes right here. So what's going to happen is you have all this stuff is going to be going into the liver, and then it's going to go into the bladder. Right here's the bladder. So all that bad liquids that we're having, that the liver passed through, gets siphoned into the kidneys, 2 of them. And then the kidneys will turn it into urine. And we all already know what urine is. But hey, let's learn about the kidney a little bit more. The 2 kidneys filter blood by removing excess water and toxics, and produces urine as the result. Okay, let's go ahead and head to the next area. Okay, we already talked about the stomach and all these ones as well. But let's go ahead and head right over to the urine bladder. Urinary bladder. So, here's the 2 kidneys, one over here, and it had all the liquids coming down the 2 tubes. So now we still have the liquid waste or toxins coming down, and then as it's coming down, it gets filtered into the urine bladder. And right here is where we would use the restroom. This thing gets filled to the point where we need to go use the restroom, and then it is expelled. So let's read about the urinary bladder. Urine arrives into the bladder from the kidneys. The bladder acts as a storage unit until the body needs to remove the urine. Urinary bladder. So we learned about the intestines, that takes care of the waste, the food part, and we just learned about the kidneys and the urinary for the urine. So we're done here. Okay. This one really doesn't work. I guess it's still work in progress, so there's not much that we can talk about. But it's mostly the skeletal system of what we go through, but the buttons don't work for some odd reason. So that's going to be it for the anatomy of the human. I hope you guys really enjoyed what we have seen. For some other reason, I do not have my scrubs on right now. I don't know why. I feel like I'm dirtying up the place. Dirtying up the place now. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this walkthrough with the anatomy, and you guys all have a fantastic day.